forward.
The most revealing moment in Eyes Wide Shut isn't the orgy. It's when Alice Harford looks at her husband and realizes he genuinely believes she is incapable of desire the way he is. Not unwilling, not uninterested, incapable. Bill Harford doesn't think Alice would never want someone else. He thinks she couldn't. And that belief, quiet, confident, unexamined, is what destroys him. This is Film Thought. I'm Medius. And here we don't summarize stories. We dismantle them using what's actually on screen. Kubrick opens Eyes Wide Shut with mirrors, not mystery. Alice stands naked in front of one, comfortable, unguarded scene. Bill is already dressed, already armored, already performing a role. The visual language is immediate and precise. Alice exists in her body. Bill exists in his status. At Ziegler's Christmas party, that division becomes structural. Bill is welcomed everywhere. He moves freely through rooms, conversations, private spaces. His medical license functions like a passport. Alice, meanwhile, is isolated, not ignored, but targeted. Sandor Shavos doesn't seduce her through intimacy. He interrogates her loyalty. He asks why she's faithful, not whether she wants to be. Nothing happens at that party. And that's the point. Kubrick is establishing a world where nothing has to happen to reveal power. The film turns not on action, but on confession. Later that night, high and emotionally unguarded, Bill insists that men are simply more sexual than women, that women don't understand male desire, that fidelity comes naturally to them. He isn't trying to hurt Alice. He's revealing an assumption he's never questioned. Alice responds with a story, not an affair, not a betrayal, a moment. She describes seeing a naval officer and realizing in a single instant that she would have abandoned her entire life for him, her husband, her child, her future. And she emphasizes what matters most. She never spoke to the man. She never touched him. The desire existed entirely within her. That's what terrifies Bill, because it means loyalty is not ownership. It means desire does not ask permission. And it means Bill's marriage is not a fortress, it's a relationship. From that moment on, everything Bill does is reactive. He doesn't chase sex, he chases reassurance. Every encounter that follows proves how little he understands intimacy. Marion declares love. Bill shuts her down immediately. Domino offers uncomplicated connection. Bill can't stay. At the costume shop, sex is reduced to transaction so blatantly that it involves exploitation upstairs, literally hidden behind a door Bill doesn't open. These scenes are not erotic detours. They are controlled experiments, and Bill fails every one. When he finally reaches the mansion, it looks like the place he's been searching for. But it isn't about pleasure. It's about hierarchy. The ritual is cold, formal, repetitive. Faces are hidden. Names are irrelevant. Sex is stripped of intimacy and reduced to function. This is not a fantasy world. It's a bureaucracy. Bill is exposed instantly because he doesn't understand the system. He has money. He has confidence. He has arrogance, but he doesn't have belonging, and that distinction matters. When the masked woman intervenes on his behalf, she doesn't frame it as kindness. She frames it as inevitability. This world will protect itself. Individuals are expendable. Bill is warned not because he's innocent, but because he's careless. Afterward, the tone of the film shifts completely. Bill isn't curious anymore. He's afraid. He retraces his steps not to uncover truth, but to reassure himself that the night didn't matter. Every stop fails him. Domino is gone. The costume shop is worse than before. Ziegler doesn't deny anything. He minimizes it. And this is where Eyes Wide Shut becomes uncomfortable in a very modern way. Ziegler admits the power imbalance openly. He admits that consequences exist, just not for everyone. He doesn't threaten Bill with violence. He threatens him with insignificance. With the reminder that Bill is allowed to walk away, only because the people above him have decided he's not worth destroying. Kubrick never suggests this is a secret cabal running the world. What he suggests is far more disturbing, that systems of power naturally create spaces where accountability dissolves, that wealth insulates behavior. that secrecy is not accidental, it's structural. This is why Eyes Wide Shut resonates so strongly today, especially in the aftermath of scandals like Jeffrey Epstein's. Not because the film depicts a literal real-world network. It doesn't. But because the logic is the same. Epstein's case revealed through court documents and survivor testimony that abuse can persist for years when it is protected by money, access, and social insulation. That victims can be treated as disposable. That powerful people can exist adjacent to wrongdoing without consequence for far too long. What unsettles people isn't the idea of secret rooms. It's the idea that accountability is selective. Kubrick understood this decades earlier. And he didn't dramatize it through crime. He dramatized it through marriage. Because Bill's real reckoning isn't about sex. It's about realizing that the rules he lives by are not universal. That power does not equal safety. That desire does not equal entitlement. And that love cannot exist where control dominates. The final scene isn't cryptic. It's brutal in its clarity. Alice doesn't offer forgiveness. She offers reality. They survived the fantasy, the illusion, the lie that either of them was immune to desire. What remains is choice, consciousness, the willingness to face each other without masks. Her final word isn't erotic, it's grounding. It's the rejection of secrecy, the rejection of abstraction, the rejection of power fantasies. It's a return to the body, to the present, to truth. Eyes Wide Shut isn't a prophecy, it isn't a conspiracy, and it isn't about hidden societies controlling the world. It's about what happens when people mistake privilege for invulnerability, and when systems protect the powerful at the expense of the human. That's why it still unsettles, that's why it still matters, and that's why it refuses to fade quietly into the past. If this reframed how you see the film, like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what moment feels different now, knowing what we know about the world. Until next time.